On today's show,
it's all about biodiversity and clean water.
so, ready to make a difference?
Building a better planet starts with you.
Aqua Kids, traveling around the world, going where we've never been before, having fun and so much more, learning from our friends of the sea, saving them is up to you and me. Aqua Kids.
Hey everyone at home, and welcome to another great episode of Aqua Kids. I'm Drew.
And I'm Katie. On today's episode of Aqua Kids, we're back in Alaska, where we're going to get an awesome comparison of the biodiversity in a boat harbor versus the biodiversity on one of Alaska's protected beaches.
After learning how important it is to have clean water to protect this amazing biodiversity, we'll get to learn some fun ways to test the water and make sure it's healthy.
Well, it sounds like we have a very full day ahead of us, Drew, so let's get started.
All right, let's head out.
Today we're going to be learning about the difference between the creatures that live in the harbor with those that live in a tide pool. So to start, we're here at Homer Small Boat Harbor in Alaska.
We're going to be meeting up with Katie and Howard, who are going to teach us all about the cool creatures living under the docks.
All right, well let's go find them.
Let's go. Hey, Howard.
Hey.
Have you found anything yet?
Yeah, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's
This is
a big sea star.
A true star. This is one of our more common sea stars. If you want to hold it there. This one's
Ooh,
nice
yeah.
and happy, full of water right now. And it's eating all the mussels that are living just under the dock edge right here.
Wow.
Now these sea stars, they're basically a simple hydraulic machine. They have a water vascular system, and they fill themselves with water to then move around.
Wow. Hi, Katie.
Hey!
Have you got anything?
Yeah, check out this green sea urchin.
Oh, wow.
So you guys just saw a sea star, right?
Yeah.
This is a close relative, an echinoderm. They have the same tube feet, but it actually sucked in those tube feet as I brought it out of the water. Does anyone want to hold it?
Sure.
If you check out the underside, if you actually flip it over, you can see its mouth. And they're herbivores. They eat primarily the algae around here, especially the kelp. And there's a little dot right there. There's 5 teeth that come together, and those teeth are used to chow down on the kelp and can completely wipe out an area of kelp if there's enough urchins in the area.
Hey guys, come check this out.
All right.
This harbor is so full of life that things will grow on just about anything.
Wow.
So on this buoy, there's a bunch of stuff. Here is one of those anemones that we've been seeing underwater.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
because they're 90% water, when they come out of the water, they really just look like blobs of jelly. You can see this is where its tentacles are, and that's where it captures its prey, usually small bits of plankton floating in the water, and then its body is very soft and jelly-like. We also have a bunch of mussels here. These are our blue mussels. When they get a little bigger, people like to eat them. And they're also filter feeders, so filtering plankton out of the water. You can even find baby crabs that have landed here. They were plankton, and now they've settled and are starting to grow.
They start out as plankton?
Yes, so pretty much everything we see here starts out as plankton, and then as it gets too big to float in the water column, it settles out somewhere and begins to grow. So everything we've seen here on this buoy began its life as plankton.
That's amazing.
So Kachemak Bay has some really extreme tidal ranges. We have a 28.5-foot vertical difference between high tide and low tide.
Wow.
What that means is this entire harbor needs to be able to float up and down. So on these big pilings that you're seeing around here, the whole harbor slides up and down those pilings. So with this tidal range, that contributes to this incredible biodiversity that we're able to see on our beaches because so much water is being uncovered and moving up and down on our beaches.
Katie, what did you think of the little creatures living under the docks?
I just thought it was really interesting because there were so many creatures under there, and there was such a wide range of biodiversity.
Yeah, there seriously was. Who would have thought that so many creatures would like to call a dock their home?
I don't know, Drew, but don't go away because when Aqua Kids returns, we'll be searching the beach for more awesome sea life.
Aqua Kids presents another Aqua Kids Pop Quiz. Alaska has approximately 900,000 wild caribou roaming the state in 32 herds. How many miles per year do you think these nomadic animals travel between their winter and spring homes? Is it A, 1,000 miles, B, 3,000 miles, or C, 5,000 miles? Don't go grazing on other channels. We'll be back with the answer after the break.
The Pebble Partnership wants us to believe their plans for Pebble are unprecedented. But the Pebble process is the problem. You see, there are no standards in Alaska's mine permitting process. Nope, international mining companies could dig up 50 feet of salmon streams, or 50 miles. That's wrong. It's time for an independent review of the Pebble permitting process. That's as clear as the waters of Bristol Bay.
So, did you have enough time to chew on that pop quiz? The answer is B, 3,000 miles. Mature females lead their herds north to calving grounds in the spring and south in the winter for protection. Most calves are born in June, and wild caribou can live for up to 15 years.
Alaska, Alaska.
Welcome back to Aqua Kids.
You better get ready, because we're about to head to the beach in Alaska and find out what type of animals call Alaska's Chinapoot Bay home. Now we're here at Chinapoot Bay, where we're going to be going into the intertidal zone to see what's been uncovered by the low tide. Hey, Howard.
Hey, Aqua Kids.
How you doing?
Great.
Good.
Welcome to Chinapoot Bay. This is our really incredibly biodiverse bay where we take most of our groups, and it's just incredible here. You'll love it.
What makes Chinapoot Bay such a great place for biodiversity?
Well, it has to do with the geology and the tidal range we have here. This geology has all these rocks here that provides a lot of habitat for the animals, and then because of that huge 28.5-foot vertical tidal range,
Wow.
it uncovers a lot of the beach so that we can then go and see a lot of stuff.
Can we go take a look?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Whoa, hey guys, come check it out.
Oh my gosh, what is that?
This is a sunflower star.
Wow.
Oh, it's squishy.
I'm gonna actually flip it over because otherwise all its hundreds of tube feet will attach to my hand and I won't be able to get it off.
Now we saw a sea star yesterday. How is this one different?
Well, if you feel it, you'll notice that this one's much gooier, for lack of a better word. It's got a very soft structure, and that's because this is more of a subtidal creature. We very rarely will see them up in the intertidal. They stay below the water line usually because their body is so much made up of water. This one is also a more vicious predator, will eat pretty much anything, including other sea stars, and is the fastest sea star that we have out here, as well as the largest one, getting to be as big as about a truck tire.
Oh, look at this. Oh, so someone left a rotten banana on the beach.
Oh, that's a red sea cucumber. This thing is very cool. Oh, wow. You can feel how squishy it is. If you remember, this is also an echinoderm, like the sea stars and the sea urchins. Sea cucumbers are echinoderms. They have a water vascular system, which means they're pumping in water through them and out through these tube feet that you see on the side. They also have radial symmetry. So if you count it, you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of tube feet.
Well, this is awesome. Let's go look for some more.
All right.
Definitely. Oh, guys, check it out. Here's another sea star.
Oh, look at that.
Another member of our echinoderm phylum. This is a leather star. They're called that because they feel like wet leather.
Oh yeah.
It's also called a garlic star because it smells a little bit like rotten garlic. So if you sniff it, they smell kind of like rotten garlic.
Seriously?
Yeah, right there in the armpits.
Yeah, you're right.
So let's pick our way along the beach now. Just watch your step and be careful. You can see all of this algae covering the beach, and there's lots of things living under it. Oh, look here in the water, guys. There's a small nudibranch there.
Oh.
These are one of our rarer creatures and more beautiful. So this is an opalescent nudibranch.
Wow.
One of our more beautiful nudibranchs.
Look at all the colors.
Nudibranch means naked gill, and these are basically sea slugs. Nudibranchs are generally specialists, so they'll eat very specific things. This nudibranch eats hydroids or anemones, and if you remember, the anemones have stinging cells to protect them and to capture food. Well, this eats the anemone, takes the stinging cells, passes them through its digestive system, and puts them on its own back, and appropriates them for its own defense. So it looks like Katie's found an octopus over there.
Hey guys, he's over here. You'll have to get down low where I am. But if you look under there, You can see this octopus den. I knew it was there because of this midden, this trash pile of crab shells and clam shells. This octopus went out hunting at high tide, brought the food back to its den, and threw the trash out here in this midden pile, waiting for the Tide garbage disposal service to come pick it up and take it away.
Can I touch him?
Yeah, you can gently reach in there and touch a tentacle.
But will he bite?
Just don't reach in too deep, otherwise you might suffer the bite from their beak.
Oh man. Oh, he okay, he's sort of
suction cups.
saying hello, shaking my hand maybe. Oh, he's coming out.
Now, we've seen a large variety of creatures, both at the harbor and here in the tide pools. Can you talk about how each environment is unique to allow these creatures to thrive?
Yeah, definitely. So at the harbor, those creatures we saw were constantly underwater all day. However, they have to contend with a lot of chemicals and pollutants coming from those boats. So the creatures there must be very resistant to all of those chemicals. Here, in this bay, the water is much cleaner and fresher. The animals are exposed at the low tides, but we get rare animals. We get animals that maybe are a little more sensitive to those pollutants and chemicals. And so you saw there's far more biodiversity in this bay than we saw in the harbor.
Yeah. Thanks for showing us around. It was a really cool
Yeah,
experience.
it was my pleasure. I was glad you guys were able to come out.
Drew, what was your favorite animal we saw while we were on the beach?
I'd definitely have to say that rotten banana. I mean, sea cucumber.
Really? I thought you were going to say the garlic star. I couldn't believe it actually smelled like garlic.
Well, I thought that all the animals were really cool. It was really amazing to see the differences in the animals from the harbor to the beach and how much biodiversity occurs in each region.
Yeah, definitely. But stick around because when Aqua Kids comes back, we get to meet up with some campers who are checking out some very important bugs.
Alaska, Alaska.
Welcome back to Aqua Kids.
Let's head over to Kenai Watershed Forum Camp in Alaska, where we learn a very fun way to make sure the water is clean enough to support the biodiversity Alaska has to offer.
Welcome to the Kenai Watershed Forum Camp. This place allows kids of all ages to become aquatic stewards and have fun while doing it.
We get to be campers for the day and get our hands dirty in the stream looking for some bugs. The cool thing is that these bugs can be indicators for the health of this stream.
That's right. Katie and Drew are with Dan, the camp leader, and some of the campers, so let's check in with them.
Let's go.
Well, Dan, it looks like we have a bunch of excited campers here. What are we going to do?
Well, our campers are down here today trying to see if we have healthy water.
All
And we
right.
were just talking about how sometimes you can use dangerous chemicals to check the water, or you can do it the easy way and see if the bugs and fish can tell us if the water is healthy.
Neat.
There's only one problem. Fish and bugs can't talk. So you can't be like, "What's up, bugs? Are you healthy?" And they're like, "Yeah, totally good." So what's gonna happen is I have collected some tubs of gunk from the bottom of the stream using my net. And I
Fun.
took that gunk and I dumped it in the tubs. And what we're about to do is to dive in with our tweezers, not with our bodies, guys. Let's stay dry. We're gonna look around and see if we can find any of these bugs creeping and crawling in the water. And when we find them, we're gonna put them in our trays, and then we'll see if we can identify the different kinds of bugs. And some of those bugs don't like pollution. So when we find those bugs in the water, we'll know that the water is a little bit healthy.
It's a good indicator.
What else do you have? I think I got him. There we go. Got him.
What do you have there?
It's a caddisfly.
A caddisfly. It looks like a twig to me.
Hey guys, find anything cool?
Yeah, we found about 5 caddisflies and 2 aquatic worms.
Wow. How'd you know those were bugs? They look like pieces of wood.
Well, she told us that when they're like newborns, they find pieces of wood and actually make a little home inside them.
No way.
Hey guys, what do you think this is?
It's a midge's exoskeleton.
An exoskeleton? Does that mean it shed its layer?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Guys, what is that one?
It's a mayfly.
It has like 3 tails. What?
Yeah, the 3 tails helps us know that it's a mayfly because if you hold up 3 fingers upside down, it makes an M, and M is for mayfly.
Yeah, that's a coho, all right.
How can you tell?
It has stripes on their tail, which is the prime indicator that it's a coho.
Besides stoneflies, caddisflies, and mayflies, are salmon good indicators of stream health?
Salmon are some of the best indicators of stream health because they need everything to be super healthy in order for them to survive. So they need cold water, they need high dissolved oxygen, they need a pH level that's close to neutral. So everything that we use chemicals to test these salmon are doing just by living here. So when we find them in spots, it's a great indicator of healthy water.
As we go to a break, Dirty D has a salmon wrap for us. Take it away.
Here we go. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I am a salmon. Just look and see. If you live in Alaska, then you've seen a lot like me. You'll find 5 species if you look. The first one is the king, also known as Chinook. Then you've got a sockeye, which is red, you know. Did you know that a silver, sometimes called coho? Pinks, humpies, the rivers they clog. Don't forget chum, cause they're my dog. Salmon start as eggs in river beds and gravel nests that we call reds. Then they're the alvin with a cute yolk sack. They use that yolk as a yummy snack. Then the alvin turn into fry with par marks on their sides that help them to hide. But before they become adults, those salmon have to become smolts. Just before they go out to the ocean for vacation, salmon have to go through smoltification. They're born in a river because they like the water's motion. When they grow up, they go and live in the ocean. When it's time for spawning, yeah, they go back to the river they were born in. This is what they do. They see that pretty female, make her red her nest, and they fertilize her eggs because she likes them the best. Then you know what people that is when they die. But it's not sad, so don't you cry, because that carcass has made the stream healthy, the nutrients are rich, the offspring they are wealthy. But listen to me people as I tell you this and that. Be kind to the river, don't mess the habitat. They need the vegetation that hides and gives them shade, so when you're out there fishing, don't trample Banksley's weight. People need clean air, but water's what they got, so please do not pollute it or their survival shot. Yes, when you're out there fishing, wishing they were on your plate, remember what I ask and it will all be great. Be kind to the salmon, treat them like old friends. You can eat them or feed them, but if they come back, all depends. Thank you for listening and hearing me out. Be kind to the salmon and the dollies and the trout. I'm out. Ooh.
Yeah!
Aqua Kids!
Drew, it looked like you were really enjoying that salmon wrap.
Yeah, Katie, I think my band's gonna have to do a cover of that one sometime soon.
All right, Drew, have fun with that one. When Aqua Kids returns, we head over to Palmer, Alaska, where we get to assist in keeping the water clean by planting a rain garden.
Alaska, Alaska.
Let's head over to Palmer, Alaska, where we get to help plant a rain garden.
Wait, what's a rain garden?
Well, let's go check it out.
All right, let's go.
We're here at Spring Creek Farm in Palmer, Alaska, where we're going to be getting our hands dirty and actually helping to plant a rain garden.
Catherine, what is a rain garden?
Well, a rain garden, like what we see going on behind us here at Spring Creek Farm, is a very simple way to slow down, soak in, and spread out stormwater runoff to keep our waterways clean. You can make a small garden for a house like this. It's taking water from the roof and the downspout. And we're using nice native plants that are very hardy. They actually act like a sponge in order to slow down, soak up, and spread out that water and recharge the groundwater. What you can't really see is this thing is dug down about 2.5 feet and then filled back up with sandy, well-drained soil. Wow. So it's acting like a big living sponge, letting the plants do the work for us.
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
So let's get the big picture here. What do these rain gardens do for the environment?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What happens when rain falls in the forest?
I guess it soaks into the ground?
Absolutely. How about when rain falls onto a parking lot in the city?
I don't know. Where would it go?
It goes off of the parking lot. If it falls on a building, it goes off of the building. And when there aren't forests or wetlands to treat that water, it goes right into the nearest creek. Well, the problem with that is that not only does that water carry all the pollutants that may be sitting on those parking lots or on top of the roofs down into the creeks, but there's bigger problems for the creeks. When the water all goes in at once to the creek floods even more than it ordinarily would.
Oh.
So that's terrible for fish, it causes erosion, there's all sorts of problems that come from that. Then when it doesn't rain for a while, the creek goes very dry because there's not all that water flowing in from the forest and wetlands.
So this is what they do? They soak in the water?
They soak in the water, they allow the groundwater to recharge the way it ordinarily would in a natural environment, and they treat large areas of pavement or of buildings to make it as sort of like an antidote for the pavement.
Great.
All right, Frankie, I've got my shovel. It looks like it's time to plant, so what do we do first?
Okay, we've got some eager gardeners ready to dig, and they're going to dig a hole that's a little bit bigger than each one of those plants they're putting in. We've got some irises that are really good in the water.
Awesome.
We've got some big grasses. And we've got some really nice dirt here that's really sandy and absorb the water. What do you think? Is that the right spot?
Perfect.
Well, our rain garden is completed and it looks great. It was really cool to see all the kids getting involved and excited about it too. You know, this is a really easy way for families to make a difference to the really bigger issue that we have here.
Well, it's a really simple way to use plants to help keep the watershed clean. And it is something that anybody can learn how to do. If you want to know more about rain gardens, you can contact your local soil and water conservation district or other natural resource agencies.
Well, that's all for today's show. But Drew, we learned a ton about the rich biodiversity Alaska has to offer and some creative ways to protect it.
It was also great to see young people willing to get their hands dirty to protect the environment.
That's right. You know, it's so important that the younger generations get involved because they are the environmental stewards of the future. If they learn about the ways to make sure our environment is healthy now, they are likely to pass this information on to family and friends.
That's right, Katie. And that's why it's important to remember that everyone can do their part to keep this planet green and blue.
And so can you. So visit our website for cool eco tips.
And fun links to show you how we can keep the world and the water
a great place to play and explore.
And we'll see you next time
on Aqua Kids.
Aqua Kids, traveling around the world, going where we've never been before, having fun and so much more, learning from our friends of the sea, saving them.
Furniture for the Aqua Kids set provided by IKEA.